That was the sound of me dropping and falling. Stair skating on 2 stairs did not work.
That was the sound of an experiment that failed.
I tell you, Jill. Now I know why Richard went down the way he did back in that Shark Tank.
We must keep
Jill.
this a secret between you. We must keep a secret between you and me, Jill. The future can never learn of stair skating, and that's why it was never the same in 2 and 3. Oh, they tried, but the Richard school of stair skating just never caught on.
Not really.
I mean, I just know that from what Matt's shown me that stair skating isn't quite as like. I'm sure everything's fine down there. I'm sure, I just remember that from what I've seen in 2 and 3, the stair skating is not quite as elegant as it is in 1.
Nope. I mean, considering you are working with a newer control scheme, it'd probably be a little harder to work with.
Darn, the RE engine can do many things, but it can't do this.
It can do many things. It can even turn Ghosts and Goblins into a rather epic storybook.
That is true. I forgot that that's also RE engine. Excuse me.
It can also be used on Switch.
It will never break.
It broke.
Ouch.
Use this here. So, I'm also not going to bring my weapon into this next. I'll bring some healing items, but basically, this is our last final standoff with Lisa, the new secret boss that they added into Resident Evil. And
secret. She's been literally waving those hands around throughout at least 1/3 of the game.
Well, I mean, secret in the sense of not many people thought they were going to be seeing her when they thought it was going to. And I don't know. I forget if the advertising was like. Do you think it was like 7 where like they tried to pin it off as like a true like faithful 1-to-1 remake before pulling the rug out from under people, or do you think, or were they like telling everybody, hey, don't go into this expecting it to be the same from the very beginning?
I don't remember.
That's fair.
Ugh,
I'll have to look up a couple of trailers or something.
I guess I could bring this up. You know what? Before we go into that topic, Wesker's here.
Oh.
Chris, take a piece of the action.
Why are you using your gun? Oh, wow, she's going full mutant now. Also, Wesker, why are you trying to use your gun on her? Like, you've told me yourself that bullets don't do anything to her.
Have you never heard of a distraction, Chris?
Also, fun fact, in Jill's scenario, you don't have to move these things.
Really?
Yep, from what I remember, you don't have to move these. You just have to go over, open the chest, and that's it.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember. If that's the case, then damn.
Or maybe you don't have to open as many. It's mainly because you gotta do it fast enough where, she doesn't attack Barry.
That's fair.
And it is possible for Wesker to get knocked down into the cliff.
And also,
he'll still survive.
That is the end we'll see of Lisa Trevor.
It is
for
sad.
This game, anyway.
And since Wesker didn't die, I can talk to him.
I'll investigate this area a little further.
Sounds good. We'll go on
okay,
ahead then.
I don't think we needed the dramatic gap there.
Pause. I know.
I'll investigate this area a little further. With your sunglasses, I said it's going to take a while, you know.
Sunglasses. No.
Chris, I've told you once before, and I'll tell you again, the sunglasses never come off.
I just imagine, like, I'm so sorry. Wesker has a kid. I just imagine when he is like, whoever the mother is, it goes like, all right, but there is one stipulation: the glasses stay on.
Oh, so anyway, here we are now once again in the grand lab entrance from the first game, where we're once again using the eagle and wolf medallions.
Also, I like to point out, Logan, that one of the medallions we use is literally called the Metal Wolf.
They knew. Potentially they knew. But regardless, yeah, it's time for us to finally learn about Umbrella's huge involvement with this mansion, because...
Don't slip, Chris.
As with most Resident Evil games, it's never just as simple as what is on the surface. There's always... Unless it's 6. 6 is exactly what it's supposed to be.
Literally, 6 introduces the villain right off the gate.
Yeah. Here, but yeah, as you see here, the mansion, all of it was just a ruse for an actually rather high-tech medical facility.
Yep.
Welcome to Umbrella Labs.
Yeah, I was about to say, owned by you-know-who. The same schmucks that apparently are... You know what, I was about to say something, but I kind of don't want to go into that particular topic right now that Logan brought up with us.
Well, Oh, I'm not going to bring up I'm not going to bring up all the tangential points, but I can absolutely say that there is a medical facility in China that decided to make their logo just Umbrella's logo, but with like colored
teal?
light blue.
No, teal. So
Teal,
I made the
light
joke
blue.
that red umbrella is evil, blue umbrella is good, and teal umbrella just fucked up.
They're just very unfortunate. But no, that's all I'll say is that it's just it was a real company. I believe it's still around, but they had a sign and everything.
I'm shocked they're still around, given you know what.
Well, no, I'm just even before like you think like somebody you gonna make a go for me.
There you go.
This does remind me. Unfortunately, one change they kind of had to do, no matter what. Especially considering this was originally on a Nintendo console, they had to give the naked zombies some actual clothes.
No more naked zombies. In fact, they replaced them with something far worse in some of these areas. But
I love how you make it. I love how you make it sound like a horrible thing that you can no longer see zombie genitalia.
It's supposed to be.
To be fair, you couldn't in the original.
Oh.
Yeah, you could.
No,
Like, there were naked zombies all over the place.
No, yes, but they didn't have genitalia.
To be fair, that's the funny part about it all, is the fact that you literally could see everything about them but their junk, because it was likely chewed off or blown off.
Right, it was pixely and all that. So,
I'm just saying, James, this is a very weird way to express what you're into.
Who said I was into it? I've just been exposed to the kind of stuff with the friends I've made.
Honestly,
You said it was a bad thing.
Honestly, one thing I will say is that why couldn't they just say that they were like bioweapons created specifically, not actual zombies, like say the Paleheads in 3.
Right, definitely those guys are naked.
Yes,
There
but
you got me there.
they're not like normal zombies. They were created specifically in the Umbrella
I'm gonna
Labs.
take this puzzle home.
Oh yeah. So this, I believe, is involving the age-old letter that you'll find from John, where the puzzle attached to it has become a little more complex.
Right. It's no longer. You're gonna learn it's him writing a letter to Ada, and this game does something where they add on an extra password we need to learn, which we can only learn from using these. By using these X-rays, and they have a little cheat sheet on the left that tells you which each part of the body is. The collarbone, the esophagus, the lungs, the liver, and because when we turn on the infrared light, or just red light, infrared wouldn't be red. Notice how the colon is glowing, the esophagus is glowing,
C-A-L.
the liver, and the lungs. Also, esophagus starts with an E, not an A.
Oh, sorry.
So basically, what we're saying here is that the password we need to access a certain floor is not mole this time; it's cell.
Shell.
Did somebody call my name?
It's still green.
Get that Poppins asshole out of here.
And that one's still green!
Bothers me. It's like, oh, that one.
Is it weird? Is it
Doesn't
funny
bother
that
me,
my
it doesn't
favorite...
bother me, it bothers me, it bothers me a lot.
I guess
ahead.
going in that tangent real quick, one of the things I still remember from Cell to this day isn't even from the anime or the freaking Bridge series. It's from the first Budokai series in his what if scenario.
What was the what if scenario?
Well, it's actually the one what if scenario out of that whole game that actually could be considered canon, because basically what happens is that, well, okay, just to spoil the ending, he literally had a nightmare while waiting for his tournament to begin. It involved him literally, instead of absorbing number 18, he absorbed Krillin.
Oh no.
And naturally so, he got very fucking weak sauce. And apparently that nightmare almost got killed by Yamcha, but then he snapped out of it. Or not, it wasn't Yamcha, I think it was Tien. He got killed by Tien.
Wasn't that the Krillin? Wasn't that the cell that was like all orange and stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
God, that's such a weird thing. I wouldn't. Yeah, I just remember Cell Saga being. I remember Cell Saga being one of the best, and if I'm correct, I remember Cell Saga being where the creator originally wanted everything to end.
I think he wanted to end the series even as early as the Frieza saga, but I guess they decided to do the Cell Saga, and then
he wanted to end the series with the Vegeta saga.
Oh, so make it just a one-time thing.
Yeah, he like, and each time they kept on pushing and all that. My big problem is that, and I am so sorry, Kyle Bear. I know we become slightly friends, more acquaintances, but they really fucking gypped Gohan later on, especially in the Buu saga. They really
they just kept forgetting about him and kept thinking, no, Goku has to be our money cow. Goku's the big one.
Basically put, Gohan becomes the strongest being in the universe, but doesn't do shit.
Well, he's never allowed to do shit.
Yeah.
Well, there's also the matter of fact that he doesn't really. There's also the matter of fact that he took more from his mother than he did his dad in terms of his overall personality.
That's fair.
Right.
So he's not quite as violent per se. Even so, it's kind of a shame in the long run.
I like how we went on this whole tangent only because one note said sell.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! A hype. While we're going a bit further into this, have you been giving any other anime the time of day since My Hero Academia?
Let me see. Honestly, no. Mainly just because I've been busy on my Disney Plus binges. Thanks again for that subscription, by the way.
No worries.
And yeah, I've just been going through a bunch of them. Like, the first one I finished was American Dragon. I finished Kim Possible not that long ago. And I'm now in the middle of Season 2 of Wander Over Yonder.
Oh, I love
nice.
Wander Over Yonder.
That's a good show. It only had
People who do animation for a living deserve more credit and respect.
Like, that's funny, and I still love one bit that I love quoting off context. It's the one where Peepers keeps trying to come up with a plan to take over this planet, and every time he does, like...
Nah, never mind.
I was about to say, every time he tries to come up with...
every fucking time, Logan.
Yes.
I was just having a goof. I was just having a little laugh there. Continue.
Okay. But it's like, every time he tries to come up with a plan, Hater would always point out how Wander would somehow screw it up, and then at one point, for some reason I just love it out of context, is...
Nope. Banjo.
Banjo?
Banjo's gonna stop it.
But no,
Haters.
I do need to give that show a
the
chance.
voice cast they got with that was so fun.
No.
Yeah, it's like the voice cast is fun, and just like Hater himself's a really fascinating villain because he totally has the power and capability to be the most powerful threat in the universe, but he's just an absolute child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what can I suggest a show to you, Steve, since you like My Hero?
What's up?
Demon Slayer. It's actually really damn good. Beautiful animation, good characters. My only thing is, not going to lie, I'm one of those people that I don't care if you watch dub or sub, it's your call, but I personally prefer watching the sub for that show, mainly because Bryce Papenbrook voices a character, and he really doesn't do that good of a job.
Oh, wait a minute, that's... Did he... Oh, now I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the anime with the pig head, right?
Yeah, the guy at the pig head, Bryce Papenbrook voices him. It really doesn't fucking fit, because the entire point of the character is that he's supposed to like, under the pig head, he's like, it's a mask that he wears.
He's
underneath that,
but behind the mask, he's drop dead gorgeous.
He's supposed to be absolutely like one of the most Bishonen looking people ever, and the whole there it is.
Hey.
On the Steam version, they didn't censor this.
Oh.
Well, how's that for a
Mike
twist around?
But yeah,
my guess
yeah,
is...
on the because we were testing recording on the PlayStation version, they removed some of these like dots. Modisc entered. Basically, yeah, as you see, as a little nod to the console this was originally released on, all the Modisc readers are basically GameCubes.
So anyway, the whole point is of the character is that he's supposed to look absolutely drop dead gorgeous, like a Bishonen and all that. People mistake him for a woman at times, and he's supposed to have a super deep masculine voice. You never use those words to describe Bryce Papenbrook fucking ever.
No, that's more like.
Are there any positive words you use to describe Bryce in any fashion?
Sure.
He was good in Durarara. There.
I mean, he was.
It's not that his voice is bad. It's that he uses the exact same voice for everything he is in, and he always plays the two same fucking characters in everything.
Unless he's silver.
He's typecast.
Yeah, he has the worst sense of typecasting. I don't hate Bryce. I think Bryce is great. I bet he's a fine person. I would like to meet him, but he was not cast well in Demon Slayer. Mainly because the only thing he got right was the laugh of the character, because he could do like the crazy laugh that he does, but he still uses his high-pitched nasally voice for the role, and I'm just like, it doesn't fit him.
Honestly, it sounds like the voice director just had an entirely different interpretation of the character, and that's why he does that.
Most likely, but the problem is, like, in my opinion, if you're going to dub an anime, get actors that sound like the original Japanese actors as well. The same cadence, same tone and stuff like that. So, if, you know, the character has a deep voice, get a person with a deep voice. Honestly, in my opinion, I think one of the best things they could have, like, one of the two people, or two people they should have casted, either Travis Willingham or Patrick Seitz.
Okay.
I get that, but honestly, I feel like there's some cases where I think as long as they can still inhabit the same spirit as the character, like, it doesn't have to be like a complete vocal match. Like, I think my go-to example that I'll still defend is Kevin Michael Richardson as the Joker. Like, he is like the deepest sounding Joker you could imagine, but he just nails every other aspect of the character that I just can't hate him.
To be fair, though, that's not like an anime dub. That was just like, let's have a different interpretation of the Joker. That wasn't something that is already made before that they already had a reference to.
I mean, there's also some cases where, I guess depending on who you talk to, it's like maybe the dubbed version you would much prefer over the original take. Like, I do still remember, like, a while back when we did Mega Man 11, like, Hype made it very vocal that he much prefers Blockman's English voice compared to his Japanese.
I just think that the English voice does a better job of conveying the fact that he's a dork.
I guess. Though I also think the Japanese, I kind of like the idea that the Japanese treats him more like a child, considering he is pretty fucking small.
Ooh, another Modisc. Perfect.
And then there's also what was it, Bounce Man, which you also said was too high pitched for your taste.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't know, like, after listening to both of them, like, after a while, I'm not quite sure if either of them really have a good voice for Bounce Man, at least in my opinion.
The problem is...
Oh, by the way,
Oh, sorry.
Bestiary.
Yeah, it's here where we come to know the names of the beasts that we've been coming across throughout this entire quest. And then there's this thing.
I still don't know what the title to is. Wait a minute.
Look at that.
I recognize those. And even look at the guy on the far left. Even he's like.
Honestly, the guy on the far left, if you look at him, kind of looks like Birkin.
Maybe I just like when you see. Oh, by the way, we do this at the very end. Why are you wearing those shades indoors? At 8462.
Oh, okay. But just to let you know, just to let you know, Steve, the whole point of Bounce Man is that he's made of helium, so high-pitched voice.
More or less makes sense. So,
and I guess to end off that topic once and for all, I'm probably the only dork out of the lot of us that still thinks that Ben Diskin's take on Mega Man is okay.
I think it's okay. Also, by the way, this is the reason why we brought that film off of Kenneth's body.
I mean, for those that wanted to see the gritty detail, and even then, not that much.
It does leave me wondering. Like, huzzah! I've solved the case of the red. It's like, what?
Goddamn.
Of course, we knew that's how he got killed by a zombie. He got killed by a zombie.
We literally saw you getting eaten by that thing just as we walked in.
It would have been neat if there was like a little bit more character development.
I do apologize, by the way, Steve. I don't mean anything against you.
No, you're fine. I wasn't taking it personally. And actually, I just wanted to say real quick, going back to what James was saying about Ben Diskin as Mega Man, is like, I don't think I really hate him. Like, I think he does fine, but I do agree with the other guys in that, like, I feel like if he was going to voice a Mega Man, he'd be more fitting for X.
I mean, that I'll definitely agree with. And I will say this much, and I think I've already brought this up before. The other perfect voice I would have casted for Mega Man was already used as Beck for Mighty Number 9, so that wouldn't have worked out.
Oh, Yuri Lowenthal.
Oh, you mean Yuri?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yuri Lowenthal. I think he would have been perfect as classic Mega Man.
He does good younger voices.
Here's the thing, really quick. My whole point of Ben Diskin is that he could have done great, in my opinion. He actually could have been a great Mega Man if they did one thing. Had him pitch up his voice slightly. Not like pitch shift his voice, but him himself
immediately hugged the
making
wall.
his voice a bit higher. Because he can do it. I've heard him do it before. make him sound like he had a childlike
Down.
voice, but it sounded like he didn't. It sounded like he was just using his regular voice.
The only thing I
So-
could think of is that they're probably
Disc.
running on the. Oh, sorry.
No, but what I'm doing here is I'm using the second mode disc, but I'm being very quick, because if you don't know where exactly to go, and if you don't move quick enough, this will be your first encounter with something that has not been shown on that PowerPoint, the Chimeras.
One of my least
Oh, that's
favorite
right. We're in
enemies.
the. I just realized we're in the morgue now.
Yep. Hey
Oh,
there. Bye there.
Speaking
I'm
of
done
the
with
devil.
no, not
Well.
dealing with those guys. They're weird. This is, I guess, where you could argue this is where the first, like, maybe iteration of the Las Plagas or the things in Resident Evil 5 came from. But yeah, this is where
You mean the progenitor?
The Beast
then
divorce.
the Vist. Yeah, the progenitors. Oh, the progenitors what led to the Navistadors?
The progenitor virus led to. So basically, all of this stuff that we like, the T virus, the chimeras, all that stuff, all of
Chimeras, all
them
that.
are based around the progenitor flower that they found in Africa.
Oh.
The so even Las Plagas is part of the progenitor virus,
But not the mold.
but not the mold is a completely different case.
Gotcha. We'll deal with that in the later games. But okay. So
What were you saying, James? By the way.
yeah, we were talking about the morgue. We were talking about the chimeras, the Navistadors. And,
Yeah,
I guess
my mind was just going back to the Vistadors, considering the fact that the chimeras in some way do kind of resemble them.
Oh yeah.
Though it's actually it's funny because I did look up some lore bits about the monsters we're dealing with, and it's kind of disgusting how the chimeras came to be, because you're essentially fusing a little like human DNA with a fly embryo.
Yeah, they started to really mutate beyond recognition, and
Again, it's why they're
I'm
called
saving a lot.
chimeras.
Yes,
That would make
and we're
sense,
saving, and we're saving heavily because we're going into one of the least favorite parts of the game, or at least
Also, I forget if
definitely
it was
as far as
chimeras or if it was some other mook type, but I remember them being absolute fucking pests in Umbrella Chronicles.
it may be Umbrella Chronicles.
Honestly,
I mean, they're a lot more common in Umbrella
Honestly-
Chronicles, if that means anything.
honestly, I'm just going to say it.
No.
I'm just going to say it. Capcom, look, I love you guys. Much better. Like, a lot of people still hold contempt against you. I think you've gotten much better. I think you're great. Please, for the love of all that is fucking holy, stop putting bug enemies in Resident Evil. They are the worst.
They're always the worst, except for Black Tiger. He's just a kid.
He's not a bug though. He's an arachnid.
Those are he's not an insect, but I consider him a bug still. Die.
By the way, you might not want to waste your time with these guys all that much, because I do believe they infinitely really respawn.
Not yet.
Oh, they don't?
In the next two rooms, yes, but here only 3 will spawn max. And
Oh, I just
and I
remembered
definitely
something.
want to kill them because,
Welcome to one of the most infamous puzzle in the game.
Also,
especially for veterans.
fun fact with this section, this is one of the few sections where, so Logan's been using the updated controls and stuff like that, the
Yes.
new updated controls. You do
With
not
analog
want to
stick control.
use the updated controls for this section.
Get used to using the D-pad, sucker, because we're gonna get ready for an escort mission.
So yeah, with that all being said and done, we'll see you all next time for our latest episode of Birkin in the Shades, featuring nitroglycerin.
Oh
Yes, our escort mission, where the escort will explode if you do not give them the right amount of attention. However, enough about Resident Evil 4, let's get back to the remake.